This is the July celestial reading for the month ahead. So I did ask if we should do pick a card or just a reading, and it was requested I just do a longer reading to get to more information. It's less choppy and I can get into the flow better. So there's obviously something going on about timing. Time is running out, but at the same time, there's also a lot of time left remaining. So no need to worry, but the clock is ticking. We have another clock here. Looks like there could be some sort of message coming in, information coming in, change, communication. The clock strikes 12, I'm hearing. I don't feel like whatever's this information or message that's coming to you is something you know about. I felt like there's some anxiety, and in the background there's a lot happening on the spiritual levels. And so this timing it's a matter of time, being that it's only a matter of time until this message comes through, this information, this shift. And all I'm getting is communication here. This cat down here is not anxiously sleeping, so there's nothing really to be worried about at all, even though you may feel worried. Gold ray, golden energy, 7D consciousness also could be coming through for some of you guys, and also the need to work with the golden egg, golden light meditations. I'm also seeing this as the wall in time, as the inversion in the organic universe, and energies beginning to move back into the organic universe. And actually these are the soul sparks that are coming back and leading the rest of humanity back through here. The energies back through the wall in time, back away from the inversion towards the organic universe, and bringing with them this cosmic consciousness or golden Christ consciousness. And so it's only a matter of time until we see this shift. It is happening, so there's nothing to worry about there. And then we saw the cat sleeping. So let's see here. This is like there's some information you need, basically. You're looking for the key. Maybe you found the key, but you don't have access to the key to unlock this information, but it's right there. And so whatever this message or information is, it's going to allow you access to this key to unlock it, okay? And then we'll see this flow of divine Christ or golden consciousness into your life for you to ground and stabilize, okay? And at a collective level, we're also waiting for this key to unlock this information or this energy, maybe. Let's go here. I am open to the wisdom from the stars and Mother Mary's aquamarine mantle. So this is about a 5D shift here. It's talking about the fifth ray of technology, science, and knowledge. to help people expand into higher mental abilities. So once you shift into the 5D, you come into coherence. So that's what I feel like this is on a collective level. At an individual level, it's going to be different. And then, yeah, so we're looking at a huge shift collectively moving into the 5D. There's a key that's going to be unlocked. If you haven't shifted yet, there's some information coming to you. If you've already shifted, then we're talking about higher frequencies coming into you. But at a collective level, we're seeing this shift happen. The key has been revealed and the collective just needs to unlock. It's a level of consciousness they're talking about here that needs to be unlocked. So people cannot perceive beyond their level of consciousness. They will be functioning in a bandwidth here, and they can perceive below that bandwidth, but not above it. They can intellectualize it. They can, on some level, comprehend it. But it's to each level and each octave shift, it has to be unlocked in your consciousness. That's what they're talking about here. So at a collective level, people haven't really understood this. But Mother Mary is, the Mother Arc is essentially the 5D core. And this is what is unlocked to anchor into the 5D core, as well as the Aqua Heart, which is a soul star, connects you to the Universal Mothers Collective, as well as the High Heart. Okay, so we're seeing all of this being unlocked. For the collective. At an individual level, there's information and messages coming through, so you need to be open to those messages and information, but we don't want to sit in anxiety and fear waiting for those messages. We'd like to relax, be like the sleeping cat. It's the middle of the night. This woman is not sleeping. She's anxious, she's uptight, she's worried. So a lot of this could come to you in dream time as well. You don't need to wait up for it or wait for it, because that will actually delay the process, because you're going to be resisting the messages. Yeah, I'm getting this feeling of like limbo. People just kind of waiting in limbo. This feeling of everything being in limbo. Timing, a matter of timing till this information comes in, till the collective shifts or till individual shift. This time of limbo, but feeling like you're working overtime. There's a feeling of distraction here as well. Fatigue. There's a need for self-love. Also, insulating your energy field so that you're not overcome by external situations or people or influences. And as you do that, allowing your frequency to rise and your mind and heart to expand and to elevate. Let me get one more on the grind here. These are City of Dreams Oracle by Jackie Franco. They're based on New York. They're really awesome. Okay, so the grind. Crossroads. One more. Yeah, I was getting that need to. You're at this crossroads or this tipping point, and you know where the key is. You know the shift that's happening, but you don't have access to the key yet, or the collective doesn't have access to the key yet. So at an individual level, there's a need to work on elevating your frequency, elevating your mind, elevating your heart. Try and get out of the 3D, out of the grind, because you have a choice. So we have a 5D reality, we have a 3D reality, and the 3D reality is force. It's masculine primarily. It's go-getter, non-stop. The harder you work, the more you get. And the 5D is receptivity, it's openness, it's manifestation, it's unity, and it's more of a spiral experience. And so what's happening here is the collective's moving into this 5D expanded place, and a lot of people are still pushing into the 3D. And what's being asked is that you stop from all of it for a second and reformat the way you're thinking and perceiving, and allow yourself to rest in the productivity of the 5D and above, which can be just as efficient and productive with less stress, worry, doubt, competition, dense energy, etc. Because you're elevating above it, you're building on your own magnetic field, heart field, embodying frequencies to then magnetize realities to you instead of going out. And when you're in the 5D, if you try and morph into the 3D and go out into the world, basically these realities are going to be like oil and water. They're just going to push away from you as you push into that, because your field's so strong. So it's like a physics dynamic. So perceive you have a really large auric field, and you're trying to force it into a collective, an idea, a reality. That reality is actually going to push out away from you. Okay? If you're sitting with a really strong magnetic field and focusing on receptivity, those realities are going to come into your field, into your reality here, and that's how they have to come in through the torus. Okay, those frequencies, those energies, those realities. So it's a different dynamic, but just as it's actually way more productive, because when you sit here and you do your work and you play and you enjoy life, and so you're dancing around collecting energies, and these energies are then allowed to come into your field, then you have mastered that receptivity. It's in this divine alignment. And if you're using this magnetic field to force your way into realities, those realities are going to skirt away from you. Okay, so that's the visual they gave me with this. So take some time. Get out of the city. Go to the beach. Go to the mountains. Go to the river. Spend time in nature. Do some writing. Take some you time. Reinforce your field. Don't worry about the future so much. It will change. Okay, we're seeing a huge dramatic change here. Okay, I'm gonna pull these again. So your guidance is to bring yourself into harmony and balance. You can visualize the gold and silver cloak so that you draw in angelic sonics to purify the energy around you. Expect the unexpected and miraculous. I am in total balance and harmony. So that's exactly the vision I was having, is this golden Taurus, and you're attracting in these higher frequency energies into your field. Okay, and so what it is about holding those frequencies and holding that balance and that harmonic. So when you manifest and you're working with the Taurus energy, those things will come directly to you. The effort is not as needed, and it doesn't mean you don't do anything, because you do when you're inspired, but when you're inspired, the results are still magnetized to you. Okay, and then we have a retreat energy again. I'm visiting Metatron's retreat in my sleep. There's a need for spiritual discipline here. So the lesson right now for you guys this month is really about holding that balance and harmony. Learning to discipline yourselves in both the masculine and feminine energies. Okay, so we don't sit in our fields and do absolutely nothing. There is still action, there is still movement, it's just not force. It is inspired action, but it's also learning to master your energy and your frequencies with the things that you're trying to create. And this is not news to anyone. Becoming one with the reality you're working to create, becoming one with the being you're trying to heal, becoming one with the experience you're trying to have, and it's all in unity. And the closer you can get to that feeling of unity, the closer your experience of that thing you're trying to create will be. I'm liking using the different cards as I get really into the densities with my stuff, because that's what it's focused on. So let's see. This is a really interesting message. I'm getting a grieving energy here. But because we're seeing this shift into the 5D, the 5D core is a crystalline blue. So becomes the root. So there's a grieving of this reality, of this experience, and an ending of navigating the world through the past experience of the linear matrix reality. It needs to be fully let go of for you to experience this new reality. So those that are moving into the 5D or have moved into 5D and above, it still is a challenge for everyone, because the majority of people are still in the 3D matrix. They're still rooting and grounding into the red root, whereas the blue, or the 5D, is the crystalline blue. The 6D is the rose gold, 7D gold, 8D is the rainbow or diamond. And so wherever you're shifting, you need to let go of and allow yourself to grieve that old reality, because it's not going to help you anymore. The dynamic needs to shift. Yeah, and we see, this is so funny. You see the blue here, the 5D. And with this shift comes golden Christ consciousness is awakened in the heart space. Okay, so what I'm getting with this is there is a grieving or hesitation or resistance to move out of this because there's inner child wounding. So the inner child needs to be completely healed and released. Not the inner child doesn't need to be released. It needs to be healed and reintegrated. And the recommendation here is to write. Just go into childhood trauma, past life trauma. Not necessarily trauma. Do free writing. Just sit down and write, because it may not be conscious. If it's conscious, then sit down, do one of the healing sessions, whatever one you're called to. Maybe most of these are held in the field, so I do the 7-layer bioenergetic field purification, or the full celestial purification to clear this. Write it out, clear it, get it out of your system, and then do one of the sessions with the intention to release any of the inner child woundings so that you can release the 3D functions. Because you're not in the 3D, but your mind and your past self is there, pulling you into those realities. Okay. Okay, this we have the inner child, but she's older, being lifted up. I think this is a jester. She's being lifted up and elevated and illuminated into the light here. And this play energy is a little suppressed, this playful energy, but yet that is what's holding her up, even so. So I would recommend working to help with integration with any inner child wounding, is to do more work with play. And that will help you integrate. So less rigidity, more joy. All right, I'm gonna actually get a different deck here. Let's use these. '47's come through a ton in this reading too. Well, not a ton, but more than a few times. 11. Okay, so this card essentially explains everything I've spoken about so far today. Offer the truth that spirit is everywhere. Inspiration comes through you as a result of reverence, joyful living, exploring possibilities with curiosity. spiritual passion manifesting from the starting point of the realm of spirit. So the starting point of the realm of spirit is the heart, the center of the torus. And then we're talking about unity. So creating from there. Your actions are based on passion and joy. So more of a dance instead of a force or a direction. But before you do that, there's some healing we need to incorporate or integrate. First, release the old reality, which is the 3D, and so we're doing this at a collective level as well. So the entire collective has to release that whole concept and idea of the matrix and the linearity, the social constructs and the control and the inversions. That has to be released and grieved. And then once that's released, then we can start moving into the 5D. And it doesn't matter where you're at, if you're 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, this is still happening on an individual level because we are all connected at that level. So everyone is releasing this. Everyone still needs to work through the grief process of the inner child and the experiences through that, because that reality is ending. And so it needs to be released before this new one can come forward. So there is a need to go within to connect with that oneness of all things existing in the present moment. Connecting to that sense of oneness, that oneness within, with all of life, all others, nature, your inner child, all of your experiences, all your past experiences. From that place of unity, then you will be able to perceive the next move. And it won't be a move of that is founded in doubt or fear. It will be an empowered move based on your spiritual presence that's been awakened within the heart, the spiritual foundation of unity and oneness with all things, which will make it a million times more powerful. And then when you step out into the world to create, to manifest, to be seen, to be heard, because we have that somewhere in here, I think it was here, communicate higher wisdom and link telepathically with all life forms, sending love and wisdom to all sentient beings. So there's a communication here, expansion. You will be able to shine through all of the distortions and dissonance that other people are still holding. And so your light will be able to be seen, your voice will be heard, and you'll make a bigger impact. But first, this inner grieving, releasing process needs to happen. And then we're seeing this at a collective level as well. So once this happens at a collective level, people step into this unity and find the right motivation, inspiration, foundation. Then together they will be able to seep through, break through any of the old constructs that still exist. I can have images like this. Let me get one more. This is crazy. All right, one more. Okay. We can see this. That one does not. It's not wanted. So, card of peace, harmony. Lilies can also represent endings or death. I don't mean that literally. I mean it figuratively here. So, even though this is a hard transition for some of you guys, releasing this past, and it could not be related to densities. It could be related to relationships, endings just in general. But at a collective level, what we're really seeing, and you could be experiencing it on smaller levels, more intimate to you as well. So just apply it where it feels it's most helpful. Even though it's hard, it is a wish fulfillment. It's something that has been in the works for a long time. It's something that you've really wanted to see shift within your life and your reality. So something's ending, something better is coming in. And there is a vulnerability here to this shift or ending. And I believe that has more to do with new beginning and not knowing exactly the path. But it is a gift and it is a blessing. And again, we have this ending here and a new home. And the new home is a new reality. It's a new book. It's a new chapter. And I'm not even getting it's a new chapter. It's an entirely new book. This new reality. And at a collective level, it's the same thing. It's a completely different book. Everything's going to shift. The old reality is going to die. And the new reality is being born. And somewhere within your being, you have wished for this and you've wanted this. So we just have to release the past so that we can go through this rebirthing process to be birthed into this new home and open the new book. Okay, let's get into a little bit of these guys. And okay, so this came up in the message this morning. And so this is for individuals that are working towards mastering space and time. And then you have mastery over all dimensions, all densities, and that's not a control mastery. It means you've mastered it within yourself so you can move into lower densities, higher densities, and stay balanced. That's the mastery. So it's not about being better than others. It's about mastering your frequency, your energies. And by doing that, then you can become a diplomat for the densities, a diplomat for this new earth, this new reality. You can also help people in shifting between 3D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, etc. But you can move into all the realms, all the densities with the rainbow body activated if you choose to stay in the physical vessel, which some people won't. Emotional body. So there's a shift here in September for some of you guys, beginning to work with or anchor into the rainbow body, but there is emotional clearing that needs to happen, and we saw that before with the inner child wounding. So focus on the emotional body, the emotions clearing, elevating, aligning. And after the rainbow activates, there is a cosmic soul birth, a rebirth back into cosmic consciousness, where you become a channel or a diplomat, travel, between cosmic energy and material energy. So you are a diplomat between time-space and space-time, a diplomat between the higher realms and the lower realms. You become a bridge, essentially, and you will be traveling back and forth. So you may be doing this in your sleep right now. We saw that message to pay attention to your dreams. Diamond Heart. Diamond Heart activates with the activation of the rainbow body, and this anchors in cosmic energies into the heart space. The diamond torus is formed, and you're holding all of the frequencies of all densities within your energy body at all times. And that's how you are able to move into and out of cosmic awareness and the lower densities and everywhere in between. Staying harmonic and balanced is because you've mastered all of those frequencies. So once you get there, you can move into and out of space-time, time-space fluently. Nature. Okay, so this is, for some of you guys, this is just coming through so you're aware of this potential. So if you're watching this, there's a potential here. Do not force this. It does not work. Don't try to force it. You will, it won't go well. So basically what happens if you were to, most people, anyone can access higher spiritual energies. Anyone can move into cosmic consciousness. That's not that hard. What's hard is bringing those frequencies into the body. It's healing the physical, emotional, and mental fields to such a degree that the frequencies of those lower fields elevate to resonate with cosmic and spiritual energies. Okay? If you skyrocket the spiritual energies too fast and you think that you're working in those spiritual fields when the other three energies are not stable, you will cause emotional and mental fracturing of your field. And I'm not saying this to scare people. I'm saying this so that you understand there's a process of doing this in a stable way where you can anchor into the 8D cosmic energies, ground them, and stabilize it so it's not a passing condition, but you can hold it through lifetimes. It becomes an eternal condition instead of a what word am I trying to say? Momentary or passing experience. Okay. So to do that, the energy bodies have to heal and evolve. You activate the Merkara, and eventually the AT level, there is the Merkaza, and that connects you to the 0 point, and that's what allows you to move in and out of these spaces. So this is what we're looking at here is absolute human potential. It's not an individual potential. Every human being ever, anywhere, is capable of this. But they're at a individuated soul level. Those souls have to learn the process and go through the elevations and the transmutations and the learning to be able to master this. Otherwise, they can't do it at an individual level. So the point here is to, yes, this is possible and it is a potential and it is your greatest potential, but allow it to happen in a natural way. Do not force it. I feel like that message is for me to just protect you guys, teaching you, but also protecting you so that you're not putting yourself in situations that are not going to be good for your soul growth. Yes. That are not going to be good for your soul growth just because you want to experience this. It is a potential, it's possible, but it needs to happen naturally and it needs to be done in a stable way. Okay, and so that was the lesson there. So let's look at what you guys can do this month to help with this. I mean, there's a very, very broad range of experiences here, so I'm just going to pull these out. Use what resonates. A lot of you guys could be experiencing all of these, because as you elevate and embody higher frequencies and work with these higher densities, you're mastering and working with 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D. If you're in the 6D, you're working with all of those densities. And then once you move to 7D, you're working with all of those densities. 8D, all of those densities. And you're continually moving back and forth, balancing and stabilizing those energies. So it's easy up until about 8D for you to move into 3D and kind of get stuck there. But if you don't completely lose yourself in that reality, and that's why we have the map, that's why we have the Aura of God book, that's why I wrote that, is so that if you do get stuck in one of these lower densities, you can always find your way back. It's not forever. It will not be forever. You can always find your way back. That's why that book was written. So yes, you could be beginning to work on these higher spiritual planes, but you could also still be experiencing the grieving process of the 3D, especially because it's happening at a collective level. Angelic call to the high heart 639, and this is perfect because this will help activate and strengthen the mother arc, your connection to the universal mothers collective, as well as the soul star anchoring into the heart space. There will never be a time where you can't do any of these. You can always do any of the guidance or meditations in the Academy, no matter where you're at on your journey, because you're working with all of those fields now. What we want to stay away from in the Academy is doing the really, really high frequency meditations and stuff before you've elevated to that space, to try and avoid the fracturing of the emotional mental bodies or too rapid of an expansion. Cutting the grid, Kujikiri. So this is working with the fabric of time, or a fabric of the universe, and then Zai. So Zai is the third eye, nature in the third eye. 7-layer bioenergetic field purification. So I did recommend this. This is coming through for you guys to help with the emotional field. Cutting of the grid is Kujikiri. The rest of these are Kujian. So the cutting of the grid you can only do after you have done the full process of Kujikiri, which I really recommend. It's an agent practice, and it does take dedication and time. But if you want to master anything, you're going to have to dedicate yourself to it and spend the time doing it. That's the way it works. There is no shortcuts to this, especially on the spiritual path, despite what everyone says. It's not the way it works. Ascension Mastery, Phase 9, Higher Dimensional Gifts. So this could be helpful to some of you guys, especially if you're working through this process here. Starcrafting, Episode 3, Coherence, Affirmation, Self-Love. Deep, really, really strong call for self-love this month as well. Affirmations, really going in to accumulate the strength and energy needed to expand in the right way, in the right direction, okay? Smooth sailing. Take a ride on the airships of infinity through this magical soundscape. New realities can be explored, new frequencies integrated, and inspired experiences can be had. Allow this magical soundscape to activate, inspire, and motivate cosmic gifts and cosmic creation. So this is a great soundscape. It goes along with everything that I was saying here. You can sit in this frequency, the frequencies of this soundscape, and Allow yourself to experience the new reality that you're moving into freely, and allow the cords and the energies that are pulling you into the old reality to dissolve when you're sitting there. You could even do a journey with it. Chakras through the densities. If you guys are shifting, you may need either a reminder or to understand how the chakras shift as you shift densities. Okay, and the last one is the Spica Light Language University. And if there's information that you're looking to gain and you can't find access to that, and you're trying to do your journey work and do your card readings and whatever, if you go to the university, sit, this book opens, light language comes into the book, you basically download the light language, and then the information will come into your reality in the next few days if you're open to it. Okay, you should see some pretty dramatic shifts, and it's not going to necessarily be dropped in your lap, but what will happen is it will align your intuition to then follow certain intuitive nudges, signs, and synchronicities, and they will lead you into the knowledge that you're looking to gain. Okay, so there's a lot here to do this month to focus on, but the primary thing I would say is to focus on self-love and releasing the old reality. Okay. And I think some of these are for some of you guys, some are for others. So, you know, just take what resonates and then apply those for the month ahead. Okay. I hope that was helpful, and we'll see you next time.